these things.
Like you see.
I know him.
That's not funny.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
I was laughing for myself.
Okay, yeah.
No, I don't mean it that way.
Yeah. That's how. And see, when he made, if you notice, his video in the beginning had a bunch of different frames, and the reason why it had a bunch of different frames because that's how his ADHD mind works, and that's why he knows how to get other kids who have ADHD to watch it. Because it's not like a straight frame, but he's just filming him straight the whole time. It's clip after clip after clip, and it's changing, and that's where ADHD kids they get distracted. So they need things that change, that come up next, that they aren't the same thing, because they get bored if they're watching a straight video. So everything has different clips. They don't know what's going to happen in the clip, so they keep watching it. But so that was just the insight to what an ADHD student struggles with. Especially if you see him when he said reading the pages, he'll read 5 or 6 pages and he won't know anything he read. That's him.
What is the name of this video so I can show my son?
Go back. The guys, go back. I put it up.
Maybe no,
Hey guys,
not
so
maybe.
can you tell me the title? This video is going to be about how to know if you have ADHD.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you can find them on
If you put,
Hey guys, so
what is, if you put,
ADHD, you'll find them
if you
on
type in, there you go, I got it right there. There you go.
Well, ADHD, look like he pops up right there on you.
Yeah, or if you put, how do you, if you want to know, do you have ADHD? Or if you just put his name in YouTube right there, it'll come up.
Maybe I hate that.
Yeah, he's weird name.
That's cool. I don't know how much hate on the class.
But you know, man, I said, and he has a bunch of other videos. He does, I guess he made his fame on YouTube. And he has other videos, and kids, I know, I found him with my daughter watching him, and he has a bunch of other stuff on it.
hey guys.
Now,
Really good.
the intention part of ADHD, difficulty paying attention, is also giving close attention to detail, often fails to give close attention to detail. Difficulty sustaining attention, often loses things necessary for tasks, easily distracted, and forgetful in daily activities.
Yep.
That's the intention part of ADHD. That's back when they had this ADD. Now, easily distracted. If I'm an ADHD student and I have a stain on my shirt, I'm sorry, if ADHD students in your class, is in a class that has a stain, sees you put a stain on your shirt. Instead of like an ODD kid would be like, I want you to clean it right now. The ADHD kid is like, I wonder how it got there. I wonder, does he know it's there? I wonder what it is. Is it mustard? Is it ketchup? How long is he gonna leave it there? When is he gonna clean it? So their whole mind will be distracted because of the stain on your shirt. So with ADHD kids, you have to address things that are new or different, especially in the classroom or at home, because when you're talking to them, they're gonna be focused on the stain and trying to find out where it came from, how it got there, when you're gonna clean it, how you're gonna get it off, will it come off, and now everything you just said to them, they forgot. So this same thing with this class, you've seen this commercial before, but to help explain. Now this is you trying to talk to your child. Now that's you trying to talk to your child. Same thing, if you put something new behind you or something new in the classroom, tell you the same thing. If you brought something new into the classroom and you set it up there and you don't explain what it's about, that's you talking to them is like this water bottle talking to them. All they're focused on is why is that there? What are they going to do with it? How are we going to be able to have some? Are they going to pass it around the classroom? Same thing with the new object. They're going to be so focused on that, they're going to get distracted from everything you said. And then when it comes time to pass around the object, they don't remember what you said or how to be careful with it, and now the teacher's taking it away from you. You weren't paying attention to what I just said. Now the kid's frustrated because he can't have the object that you've been staring at. So I tell them you have to address the object first, address what's new to the house or wherever you're at first, so they can understand.
So they can move past it and move on.
Move past it, move on to what we're talking about, because they said it, because they're so focused. If you have a video game in your hand and you just bought it for them, and you tell them, hey, you can have this once you clean the room and once you do everything else. This focus on the video game. When you can give it to me, and everything you just told them how they can get it, they already forgot. So the first thing, hey, you can explain the video game is what it's for. Then you can go into the instructions. Once they address it, they've seen it.
Oh, I have a question. I have so many.
Yes,
Can I just get this one out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now my eyes go there.
All right. All right. Fails to give close attention to detail. That's the attentive part. Sending attention, doesn't seem to listen, loses things, he's distracted by something like forgetful. Who does this sound like? Does it sound like your husband? It sound like every kid in the house. That's why sometimes that's why we have to make sure it has all the different criteria for ADHD. Because sometimes this sounds like average 4-year-old,
I
average 10-year-old.
heard from a neuropsychiatrist that my son went to. He said technically, in a theory, everybody has a touch of ADHD
Yes.
in society.
It's in
In this world now, everybody has a touch of ADHD.
It's in
He said you can pull out maybe a couple of things out of that list
Yeah,
that you have. And that's something, he said, that's what the world has become.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so kind of like.
And that's why it's clear to define that. You're right. And that's why it's clear to define that it has to be where it's interfering with you either working or living comfortably.
Living comfortably.
So because like there's some things like I said, this sounds like everything. This sounds like me sometimes. I said it has to be something where it's interfering with your work. Where if you can complete your day job or complete schoolwork properly, then that's when it's definitely ADHD. The stereotype of bringing an ADHD student in the classroom.
That's another video.
Well, it was a Tasmanian devil going on.
I
You tell a teacher, hey, I'm bringing an ADHD kid into the classroom, and the stereotype is the kid is like a Tasmanian devil who's going to run and destroy the whole classroom.
My son loved that.
And get it
Act-
together.
My older son acts just like that. That was his favorite character. And I
Now,
said, wow.
the hyperactivity part, impulsivity part of ADHD. And this is like I said, there's the intended part, the hyperactivity, and the impulsive part. The hyperactivity part, often fidget with hands, squirms with seat, often difficulty standing still, difficulty playing, engaging activities quietly. They're always making noise. They're often on the go, is driven by a motor on high speed, usually talks excessively. Because the hyperactivity part, they're just moving, they talk a lot. Hyperactivity impulsive part often blurts out answers when questions have been completed, has difficulty waiting turn, interrupts others and intrudes on conversation, usually acts without thinking.
That's me.
Now this is the impulsive part. Now, the impulsive part of ADHD, you have an impulsive thought. Somebody cuts you off, your impulsive might be flip them off, yell and scream at them, stuff like that. So ADHD, when their impulsive thoughts are touch it, punch them, see if it will break, tell us to smell. Without ADHD, we have what's called a filter. So we think what will happen next. So before a thought comes in our head to flip somebody off or if somebody says something to make you mad, you might want to hit them. We stop and think what will happen next, so we won't react. With ADHD, they have the filter too. The thing is, they have the impulsive thought, and it skips right to the reaction. So what happens is, you step on my foot, I'm not gonna think, okay, what happened? Maybe with an accident. Let me try and, hey, stop hating. No, you step on my foot. No, they just my foot hurt. Boom, push you, hit you. Or I see something in the classroom. Maybe should I ask to pick it up? No, I'm just gonna walk over and pick it up. Or somebody hit me punching. Or sometimes it's supposed thought something in glass. We might say, hey, I wonder if it's dropped. We might think about if I drop it, it's gonna break. ADHD kids, I just want to see if it breaks. Tell us she smells. So if a kid had a kid in class, he keeps coming. He gets sent on to me like twice, 2-3 times a week because he'll impulsive thoughts. One time during the test, he just told the girl, "You smell bad," and he yelled it out. And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because she does. What do you want me to do? I'm not lying. Why am I in trouble? I just told her she smells." Because instead of saying, "Hey, am I gonna hurt her feelings? Is this the appropriate thing to do?" His first thing, he smelled her. He reacted. Say that we had a kid who was drinking water. He drank the water, came out warm out of the water fountain. He spit it on the floor. So why would you do that? I'm not spitting it back in the sink because the sink is that disgusting. So the only place I had to spit on the floor. I was like, and he had ADHD because his impulsive thought was, this water tastes nasty, get it out of my mouth. So he spit it on the floor. So at the same time, so you get frustrated with him, and you're trying to teach them not to do it again. But at the same time, you have to understand they have ADHD and impulsive thought. So that's why the repetition comes of, hey, the next time you have to think before you act. Think before you act, and teach them how to process it out.
Will the neurons eventually, or is it just you have to repeatedly?
Well, repetitive act, and as they get older, they learn different coping skills and they learn to maneuver around it. That's what we have teachers who have ADHD, and they know when it's affecting them, and they know they have to teach around it.
So you don't have to take medicine, right?
I mean, it depends on how severe and how the situation. I mean, I'm saying how severely it's impacting their education. If it comes to a point where they can't learn and distract everybody else, it's something you might have to. But like I said, as they get older, usually at middle high school, some kids actually end up not grow out of it, but end up imagining better, but they don't need medication. 'Cause I had a kid that I was working with, and he's in 9th grade now, and right now he was taking medication through elementary and middle school, and in 9th grade, he kind of found a way, because I would work with him coping with it, and he kind of
I
managed.
see, my son can't even take medication, he's a, he has reactions
Oh,
to.
no.
He can't take nothing.
He needs
can't
coping
take- He
methods.
can't take no ADHD medicine.
Is there a you in every school?
I mean, I've been trying to get around to teach. Other than me, I've been trying to get around to like the teaching in every school. That's what I've been trying to explain ADHD to give teachers more patience, more understanding with the kids.
But you know what, it's not even that, to me, I feel that when teachers come in and they're hired, that should be a part of that training, period.
Yeah.
Across the board, even what we learned at the meeting, that should be like a #1 training.
Yeah, so that's something I guess.
Because I subbed in the school, I worked in the school, and I have seen where, to this day, it's still a big number of teachers that are not educated on ADHD, autism, none of these disorders, these kids.
I have, and then I'll also say this is something, like I said, it's been around for a while, but it's fairly new where it's coming around more often. It's being identified more. So I think it's something, I don't know, something I would, like I said, I'm willing to try to go to the school to teach it, because even autism is something that's being identified more, and same thing as ADHD. So more kids are being identified, so that's why they're kind of, the school system's kind of behind it, because now back in the day, it wasn't identified, it was just your kid's not misbehaving, your kid's bad, so it was set out.
They
Now,
treat everybody the same.
but now it's being more
Right.
identified, so now, I guess, they're trying to catch up. But the executive function of the brain, that's the frontal lobe part. Parts of the brain and frontal lobe are responsible for executive function. That means consolidating information from other areas of the brain, consider potential consequences and implications. The executive function, that's what's part of the brain. I said when you have a traumatic brain injury. My cousin, we used to jump curbs in New York, and there were curbs just fall apart in front of the house. And so we would jump, and he was about 8'10". So he missed and hit his head swole up. I think he had a concussion. He was out of it for about a week. Then after he recovered, we started noticing he was different. He wasn't the same. He was more aggressive. He was easily agitated. And it wasn't until after I got over in college that I realized that was considered really a traumatic brain injury, something that happened to him and it damaged the front part of the lobe. He was constantly fighting, constantly in trouble. He went from a kid who was really good behavior and loved school to a kid who was troubled. Same thing in my last school I'm at now. We had a kid with a flat screen TV fell on when he was 5, and he was in a coma for about 2 months. And then when he came out, Mom said he was a totally different kid because that frontal lobe was rewired, and now he was angry and I think more aggressive.
Do you have to get hit in the front of the head, or can it happen from the side?
Usually, like I said, it's usually from the front, even from the back, because the back can hit you and your brain will smash against the front.
Right.
So usually, I said the side, I guess it depends on the angle. But usually, I said it's anything that's damaged that frontal lobe part that helps you decision making, that helps you process information and relay it back to the brain to make the correct decision.
So do they have to get into a coma?
No, I
Just a
mean,
concussion?
like I say, because sometimes we don't know how bad a hit is. Like actually, I coach football, and I know there are concussions a lot. But sometimes you don't know how hard a hit is. Because I mean, a hit could be one hit to somebody could be not that bad. A hit to somebody else could be more damaging. So it just depends. So that in case it puts the brakes on and inhibits impulsive reaction, the executive function of the brain. Research says that in children with ADHD, these executive areas of the brain are underactive. They're not getting much. The synapses aren't firing. The information is not going to come as fast. Increasingly, the activity levels in the areas of ADHD brain have been shown to increase behavioral symptoms. This is the logic behind using stimulants and medication. What happens is you use a stimulant, the endorphins in the brain are being activated. So that's why there's a chemical imbalance. So that's why medication works for some kids, because it's actually a chemical imbalance that they're suffering from. And the only way to fix it is to give them the chemicals that they're lacking. So that's when you ask about medication. For some kids it does, because some kids, like I said, it might just be a chemical imbalance, or some kids it's a behavior situation. Now, this is what I want you to understand. This is a kid, from a kid's perspective in school. I read this a million times and I always mess up on it. But this passage is someone without ADHD. SLD is a learning disability. Don't like what I learned, but I learned disability. Use of hand sanitizer has become increasingly popular in hospitals, schools, daycare centers, and even on the gangway of ships. They work well when soap and water are not available and are quick ways to disinfect one's hands. Now, this is the passage being read by an average distracted student. I mean, this is like it says someone who maybe who has a hard time following directions, maybe that has a little bit of difficulty. A study conducted recently has demonstrated the effects of using hand sanitizer with less than 60% alcohol content. Students had one hand covered in sanitizer with 60% alcohol, 50%, and then the other hand with less than 60% alcohol. And each hand was placed in a closer plate with germs. I have a hard time. So the reason why I say this is because most kids, the biggest thing is reading comprehension. That's what we teach in education, reading comprehension. So I said, so even with this, I've read this a million times, but the reading, it takes, because you're reading some words twice, the reading comprehension part of understanding what you read gets difficult. Now, a student with ADHD, the hand sanitizer off the stop it, you're bugging me, include among the ingredients 60% or more than what is she doing over there, a piece of alcohol, isopropyl, look at that, or ethanol, all the hand similar compound. If a hand wet by pencil, sanitizer, schools less, shoot, I dropped it, then 60% of one of these ingredients, and this is stupid, I quit, will be not effective in killing germs. Now, if you read it like this and you ask the kid, what did you just read? We're just reading. The kid's going, I don't know. The teacher goes, how come you're not paying attention? We all read it together. But because it's ADHD, they get distracted. Somebody might be tapping their foot. Like I said, he might be looking at somebody playing with their hair. Then all of a sudden, somebody might walk by the door, the window, so he'll look out the window. Then all of a sudden, he's thinking, okay, where's my pencil? I know I had a pencil. Then he drops it, and then so he's distracted. So this is what it looks like. Instead of just reading the yellow, this is where all their mind interrupts all the different things.
I think my son came up with a coping method on his own when it comes to distraction. He uses, you know how you go to the fine ring, that's what he does.
With the headphones. Yeah, that helps. I'll get into
What do they call my headphones?
earmuffs. Yeah, because I'll get into that show later. But kids can focus.
All on his own.
So like with the kids I have with ADHD, I come up with I just use the word focus. So every time they're distracted, so if you hear me yell focus, that means you're distracted. I don't yell at them.